Welcome back to another deep dive. We take your sources, dig in, and pull out the most interesting insights.
And today we're looking at these excerpts called Jacob and Esau Reconcile.
Exactly. Our goal here is to really get into the key moments of this meeting, this, well, long-anticipated meeting between brothers who've been apart for years.
Yeah, highlighting the surprises, which there definitely are, and what actually happens.
Okay, so the scene is set. Jacob finally meets Esau after all this time, a moment just packed with potential fireworks. Let's unpack what your sources say.
Well, the first thing that stands out is Jacob's preparation. He's clearly bracing himself. He arranges his family, his livestock, very strategically.
Right, putting the ones he wants to protect most. That seems to be Rachel and Joseph right at the very back. I mean, that says a lot about his mindset, doesn't it? The anxiety.
It really does. And the text notes, Jacob himself goes out ahead. He approaches Esau, who has 400 men with him, by the way.
400 men. Wow.
Yeah. And Jacob bows low, not just once, but 7 times. It's a profound sign of respect, or maybe fear.
Submission, definitely. You can almost feel the weight of their whole history in just that action.
And then this is where your source delivers that first big twist.
Yeah.
Instead of the fight Jacob was clearly ready for, Esau runs to meet him. Runs.
Really? Runs.
Runs, embraces him, throws his arms around his neck, kisses him, and the text says they both wept.
Wow. Okay. So not hostility, but this incredibly warm emotional reception. It's huge.
It's absolutely pivotal. It just changes everything in an instant. All that tension, that fear Jacob must have had potentially just melts away. It's forgiveness where you might expect, well, the opposite.
A powerful moment of unexpected grace, as you said.
Yeah.
So after this embrace, what happens?
Well, Esau looks around, sees the women and children, and asks, who are these with you?
And Jacob introduces them.
Yes, he says they're the children God has graciously given him. And then there's a sort of formal presentation.
Oh.
Yeah, the servant wives and their children come forward and bow. Then Leah and her children, and finally Rachel and Joseph, they all bow down.
So it's this mix of deep emotion and almost courtly procedure.
Kind of, yeah. Then Esau notices that big procession Jacob sent ahead. The flocks, the herds.
Ah, the gift. He asks about that.
He does. What's all this I met? And Jacob explains, it's a gift to find favor in your eyes, my lord.
And Esau's reaction here is also fascinating, according to your source.
Right. Esau says, basically, brother, I have plenty. Keep it for yourself. He's not trying to get anything out of Jacob.
But Jacob doesn't let it go. He insists.
He really pushes him, says accepting the gift would be a sign, proof that he's truly found favor. And then he says this line, it's quite something.
Which is?
And what a relief to see your friendly smile. It is like seeing the face of God.
Wow, that's intense. Linking Esau's friendly face to seeing God's face.
It really underscores Jacob's immense relief, the significance he places on this reconciliation. And because Jacob keeps insisting, emphasizing how gracious God has been to him, Jacob, and that he has, quote, more than enough, Esau eventually agrees.
Okay, so he takes the gift. The reconciliation feels sealed. What's the next step? Do they join forces?
Well, Esau suggests that. He says, let's journey on together. I'll go ahead of you towards Seir, his home turf.
Makes sense. But Jacob declines.
Politely, yes. He gives very practical reasons, according to the text. The children are young, delicate. The flocks and herds have young ones too. They can't be pushed.
Right. Driving them too hard, even for one day, could kill them. That's what he says.
Exactly. So he proposes a different plan. Let my lord go on ahead, he says. I'll travel slowly at the pace of the livestock and the children until I come to my lord in Seir.
So a promise to meet up later. Does Esau accept that?
He does, but then he offers something else. Let me leave some of my men with you, maybe as guides or protection.
And Jacob's response?
He turns that down too. Basically says, why? Finding favor with you is enough. Your warm welcome was sufficient.
Okay. So no escort needed?
Seems not. And the source states Esau turned and headed back towards Seir that very same day, alone.
Interesting. So this incredibly emotional reunion, tears and all, leads almost immediately to them going their separate ways. Where does Jacob actually go then? Not Seir, it seems.
No, the source is clear. Jacob travels to Succoth.
Succoth.
And there, he builds a house for himself and significantly shelters for his livestock. That's why the place gets its name. Succoth means shelters.
He's putting down roots, temporarily at least. Does he stay there long?
The text doesn't specify the duration, but later it says he arrives safely at Shechem, back in the land of Canaan.
Ah, Shechem. And he settles there.
He sets up camp, yes, and then he buys the actual plot of land he's camping on. buys it from the sons of Hamor for 100 pieces of silver.
Buying land, that's a statement.
It is. And he does one more thing there. He builds an altar.
An altar. What's he call it?
He names it Elohi Israel, which
Yeah.
essentially means God, the God of Israel. It's marking his arrival, his claim, under God's authority.
So let's pull this together. This deep dive into your source shows a really dramatic reconciliation. Unexpected warmth, tears, that whole gift negotiation.
Right, including that incredibly powerful line about seeing God's face in Esau's smile.
But then, almost immediately, a very practical, deliberate decision to travel separately.
Exactly. Jacob gives clear logistical reasons why he can't keep up with Esau's pace. It's not presented as renewed conflict, but just reality.
And his journey then takes him to Succoth, building shelters, and then Shechem, buying land, building an altar, establishing his own place.
It paints a complex picture. You have this profound moment of healing and forgiveness, but it doesn't automatically mean they merge their lives back together instantly.
It suggests forgiveness can be complete, the relationship healed on an emotional level, even if practical circumstances lead to different paths forward.
So maybe something for you to think about. What does this account, this juxtaposition of intense emotional reunion and immediate practical separation, tell us about how forgiveness and moving forward actually work after long estrangement? Can healing be total even if the paths diverge?